Another objective of the RHCSA exam is the ability to set up and configure a default web server. Red Hat Enterprise Linux uses the Apache web server to serve up web pages. The Apache daemon is named HTTPD. The first thing we will need to do is install the HTTPD package. We could do a group install of the web server group, however, that will pull in a bunch of dependencies that you will not need on the exam. It is best to just install HTTPD by itself for the RHCSA exam, as your exam time is limited. After we get our web server package installed, we will take a look at the configuration file for our web server. This is located at etc httpd conf httpd.conf. This is a very large configuration file, but there are a few main directives that we are concerned with. The first is the document root directive. The document root directive tells the HTTP daemon that the main location for the web page files are located at var www.html. The next main directive is the directory directive. This should match the same location as our document root directory. So let's test out the basic default setup of our web server. Go ahead and start the HTTPD service. Don't forget to enable it to start up at boot time. And let's go ahead and open up our firewall port for TCP port 80, which is the default port for web services. Now let's open a web browser and navigate to HTTP localhost. And we should be able to see the default Apache test page. So there we go, we have a working basic web server. Now let's create our own test page in the default web directory at /var/www/html. When setting up a test page to be viewed from your web server, do not be concerned with trying to develop a page in HTML. You could just create a file with basic text in it and the browser will still display it. Time is of the essence on the RHCSA exam, so don't waste any by trying to display any prowess in web page development. Make sure that your default web pages are titled index.html unless told otherwise during the exam. Now just refresh the page in your browser and you should see your new page. We can also test our website out from the command line using the elinks terminal web browser. We will need to install elinks since it isn't installed by default. To use elinks, just type in elinks and the page you are trying to see. And here we see our test page. Press the Q key to exit elinks, then enter to confirm. In our next video, we will see how to serve more than one website from our web server.